Hello. Bet you didn't expect to see a video for a while because I definitely said there was not one going up anytime soon, but I forgot I signed up for the BBR, I believe it's called a Summer Scramble, which I'm still super burnt out on Scarlet and Violet standard format, so I didn't want to take it seriously. So I drafted mono normal. So the team you see right now, it's my squad, and it's an 8-mon, so I went with Meloetta and Ditto. Definitely could have optimized a little better. I know Ursuluna Blood Moon is a monster, but I thought it was overlapping a lot more with things like the Terapagos, and it's also Terra banned, so it was just, it wasn't my favorite. I also could have done Smeargle, so I actually had more than just, Stealth Rocks. There were a few other normal types I was considering, but this is the team we got, so we're going to try to win. My goal, honestly, we have a battle pool, so we have 3 battles, and it's pretty much if you win 2, you're guaranteed in, and if you win 1, then if somebody swept the entire pool, then you just need a better div than the other 2 people, I think is how it works. That would make sense to me. Maybe head-to-head is more important, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, our first opponent coming up, he has a Terra Ogrepaw and Water, or Wellspring. And then, of course, 2 of our 3 opponents in this pool have some of the most prominent fighting types in the entire meta. Our opponent today is Urshifu Single Strike. Also has Glamora and Golden Go as his normal type switch-ins, which are honestly some of the best in the format. He's got Talonflame, Piloswine, Florges, and Spidops. I don't care if he brings Spidops. I have heavy-duty boots. Rapid Spin Terapagos with Flamethrower to deal with Golden Go. Golden Go can't really break Terapagos, I don't imagine. So it's just important we keep that in the back if he does bring hazards, and since he has 2 pretty much have to be hazard setting Pokemon or a Piloswine, I think he's going to bring Glamora. Maybe it'll be a Corrosion, but we're mono normal. We don't have a poison type, so I don't really see much of a reason why he would bring that. But yeah, we are bringing lead hazards, the Dunsparce setup, Ursaluna and Terapagos, and then 3 choice Pokemon, so we're just running it as easy as possible. We are not trying to think too hard about this game. We may just lose all 3. I'm probably going to upload them anyway, just because, it's content for the channel. It keeps the channel alive for a little longer until hopefully we come up with some more non-standard content. But yeah, I'm going to pause until our opponent is ready, and then we will see you in the battle. Alright, and we are back. It should be ready. Our opponent took like 30 minutes to prep. He said he's setting up his recording. He's got a background and everything, so hopefully I remember to link his channel. I'll have to ask him for that. But we're searching now. We're running Terra Poison, Assault Vest, Guts, Ursaluna, because I imagine he doesn't want to leave Glamora on the bench. Because it's just so good. Before we start searching, which shouldn't matter, because we should be battling. And his Pokemon is literally Ogrepawn, so he can't be any other Terra. So yeah, sorry for that little interlude. But yeah, he was setting up his, like a scene. He was getting sprites and stuff going, so I'm looking forward to seeing it, honestly. I think that'd be pretty cool. I always like supporting fellow content creators in the draft space. I think there's plenty of us, but I would love to see more people kind of make it out. I hope he starts searching soon, because I would prefer not to pause again. Yeah, he's taking a minute now that I've told him my Terra type. Usually I wait, but I imagine he wouldn't abuse that and like change something last second. But, should be fine, right? We'll just queue up again. We'll see what happens. We'll sit here and chat a while. I think the easiest 2 Pokemon for him to bench are definitely Spidops, Piloswine. I think they offered the least for him, and he is queued up. Mario B, 33. Pretty cool name. And we see Piloswine is here. So he did bring the Piloswine, opted to not bring Spidops. Okay, for a split second I thought he was trolling and didn't have Urshifu. But he doesn't have Talonflame. Okay, so I should have been Regenerator Cyclizar. I was Shed Skin specifically because I was afraid of Flame Body. But obviously that wasn't the play. He's very weak to ground. His only ground switch-in is Ogrepawn, and once Ogrepawn Terras, obviously it's no longer a switch-in. So Trailblaze Ursaluna, if we can get 2 up, we're looking really good. Ursaluna just, it's not fast enough for 1 Trailblaze to really mean a whole lot. We are going to disguise Zoroark as Ursaluna. He might be able to tell because we won't get like a Flame Orb prop, but we're not Flame Orb anyway. So I just want him to click fighting moves into Zoroark, and Staraptor doesn't really force that. Cyclozar might, Terapagos might, but he wants to pop Terapagos Shell, and I actually don't even know how Zoroark into Terapagos works, if we're being honest. Like, I don't know if Zoroark stays the tiny Terapagos, and then it's just super obvious it's Zoroark, or what. So, we'll find out. Good luck, have fun. Should be an interesting game. Should be fairly quick, I would imagine, unless he brings, like, Calm Mind Florges. Which, if he does, I kind of wish I'd brought better coverage on Cyclozar, but I don't even know that it gets anything. So, yeah. We're having fun. And he said, good luck, have fun. I said it earlier, so I don't need to reply. Yeah, and oh yeah, I forgot we had the Dunsparce as our tag, so that's cool. We finally get to use the Dunsparce in a league. I've only ever used it in Showdown leagues. So his lead is the Glamora, which is to be expected. I would love to be able to get some Toxic Spikes on the field now. Unfortunately, I am not. Oh man, I just realized if he sets up rocks, Zoroark's going to be obvious because Ursaluna resists rocks. I should have thought of that sooner. So we'll just Glare turn 1. There's a good chance we outspeed this if we get the Glare. I also didn't realize I picked the loudest music known to man, so I hope my audio is good. I was playing with it earlier. Maybe I can turn the game music down just a little bit for you guys. It's Meteor Beam. Luckily, we're Focus Sash. Are you Power Herb? So Glamora Meteor Beam. That does actually have a role to KO us because we are max offense to Dunsparce, but we are Focus Sash. We do live on 1. Wow, okay. So either got a high roll or he's modest. So we do get a Glare off. He can't be any kind of curing item. So we could either get our rocks up or we could go for Boom Burst. Is there any way he outspeeds us? No, definitely not. He maxed out at about 300. We're at 216. He doesn't have Talonflame. So rocks are not vital, but that chip damage is really nice for all of our Pokemon in the back. We don't have the best ways to KO this, but I will just get our rocks up. Maybe he gets full parrot here. I'm not wishing it on him, but it is a 30% chance. And he gets his own rocks up. Okay, totally fair. It's a little annoying for Ursaluna slash Zoroark. But now I think Shadow Ball's stronger. No, Boom Burst is stronger. Okay. Forget how strong Boom Burst can be onto Dunsparce. So we'll just go for that. Does a good chunk, about 33. It seems very, very standard. And he does get full parried, which gives us more chip damage on the Glamora. He could switch in Golden Go if he really wanted, but he's already set up, so I don't think he will. It goes for Mortal Spin to knock me out. Okay. I don't have a notepad up. I should have a notepad up. So, Glamora at no... Oh, and he Mortal Spinned away our rocks. That's unfortunate. So he's Meteor Beam. Excuse the squeak. Mortal Spin, Stealth Rock. So I could just go into Terapagos and spin. That's not my favorite play in the world. If I go into Zoroark, he's going to know it's Zoroark. So I kind of like Cyclozar here and getting spikes up on our side. Yeah, because we go for knockoff. If he's no item, does that still KO? Maybe not, but Double Edge should. So we're going to Cyclozar. It's not obvious to him whether this is Zoroark or Cyclozar, so we have that going for us. I forgot about Mortal Spin, so rocks were just a waste. Because I thought, you know, either he'd be the hazard setting set with Meteor Beam, or with Mortal Spin, or he would be offensive with Meteor Beam and not Mortal Spin, but he's kind of a hybrid. No item knockoff's doing like 30%. I think Double Edge is safer. Hopefully he doesn't reveal that we're banded. It might. He might go Golden Go here, in which case knockoff was a way better move. I just don't want to give up Cyclozar because he is at +1. So whatever his coverage is would knock us out. So trusting the Double Edge KOs here. But I'm not positive that it will. And we want to spin up, but we also don't want Terapagos to come in too soon because we only have the one-time use of Terra Shell. So we've got to play this right. And we do the double edge off. Is he debris? He has debris. Okay, perfect. So we do want to get that poison on our Ursaluna. As weird as it sounds, because we didn't have room to have the Flame Orb and the Assault Vest. And I thought Assault Vest just looked really, really, really good into his team. So our Dudunsparce is gone, and his Glamora is gone. Obviously, Golden Go is the easiest switch in the world here if he calcs that and sees that we're banded. If he does, I probably will just go into Ursaluna. Don't really see why I wouldn't, because we wanted to go ahead and get Poison up. And actually, that would be good for us if we didn't want to get rid of rocks, because he would assume that Cyclizar is Regenerator. Cyclizar would be our last Pokemon, so Zoroark would be disguised as it, so it wouldn't be as obvious when we bring Zoroark in. So I think if Golden Go comes in, that's our play. Because if Golden Go comes in, he probably just drops and Make It Rain, right? So, and check Ursaluna. We're not the bulkiest thing in the world. Yeah, Golden Go still does like half with Make It Rain, plus the poison ticking. It's not great. Let's go into moves on. It's the Golden Go, which makes perfect sense. It is Air Balloon, which also very good item into me, which is why I brought Flamethrower here. So I could go Zoroark, but I'm pretty sure it probably just drops to Make It Rain. It does. So we're gonna go into Ursaluna. I could have brought a better Terra type, but I thought Terra Poison, he just doesn't have very good checks to it in his team. He would have to run Psychic on Florges, which why would you do that into Mono Normal? He would have to run, like, you know, off coverage on some of his Pokemon that just make absolutely no sense into a Mono Normal team. Like, there's so many coverage moves you just don't need. Like, this Golden Go 100% does not know Shadow Ball. Like, there's just no point unless I was Ghost Ursaluna. But otherwise, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So he has room for more coverage, which is one of the many negatives of running Mono Normal. But we're trying to have fun, so I'm not stressed too much about it. So we do bring in the Ursaluna. It is the actual Ursaluna. And we will get poisoned, which is what we want. And what does he go for? Probably Make It Rain. Okay, yep. And that should do half. Does over half, so he probably is Choice Specs, if I had to guess. So we will take the Poison Chip. And the next one might KO us, which is not great. I will Terrasilize because there's no reason not to. I will hit Trailblaze because his balloon is not popped. So if he is... Oh, he's Air Balloon. I just said Choice Specs, but he's obviously Air Balloon. My bad. It's very late compared to when I normally battle, so probably Brain is not the right place. So he's modest. He's probably modest based on that calc. So we will guaranteed outrun it after Trailblaze. I will go for Terrasalization. I thought he was about to, and I was like, wait, that's not allowed. I don't know what move he would have to knock us out if not a Make It Rain. At -1, I'm seeing that he's doing 138 at max, and I think we're at 139, so he nasty plots. He's not going to appreciate this Trailblaze very much. So, yeah, he knew we couldn't break him in one hit, but now we are guaranteed faster, I imagine. We are poisoned. So if we get rid of his Air Balloon, Headlong Rush is only doing about 200%, and his only switch in is Ogerpon. He could switch hard into it, but I feel like that might be a throw because Headlong Rush still does like 70%, so I am just going to go for it. Ran Headlong Rush just because it's that slight bit of extra power was actually really nice into things like Shuka Golden Go. Like you just saw, we guaranteed KO it through Shuka here. So that's pretty cool. Poison's ticking, we're at 89, so I think we have 1 to 2 turns to be an absolute menace to his team. Maybe force him to reveal his Choice Scarf. So we, at +1, always outrun Ursaluna, or sorry, not Ursaluna, Urshifu. So if Urshifu comes in and outspeeds us, then it's confirmed Scarf, which is pretty cool. So he's really thinking about this move. Obviously, Ogerpon is a free switch, and if he has speed built into it, then he go for it. But he does just give us Golden Go, which is so, so nice. I am actually a little bit shocked that he would give up Golden Go, because we have 3 choice Pokemon in the back that we would never be able to lock into our normal type moves. And it looks like we will go down to Poison next turn. He can very easily bring in Ogerpon here, Terra, and just cudgel us to death, which is completely fair. But we do have a Scarf Staraptor in the back. We have 2 Pokemon that outspeed, and 1 Pokemon that at worst speed ties. But he chooses to go into the Piloswine, which makes me think he might have Ice Shard. So if we look at Piloswine, Banded Ice Shard obviously knocks us out. If we Terra, Ice Shard is doing... Yeah, Ice Shard will knock us out. Is there a reason to save this? I guess we get rid of... the Toxic Spikes on switching back in. If we get rid of the item... Yeah, Ice Shard's unfortunately always KOing us. So I will just go for a Facade. But he is Ice Shard. Totally fair. Piloswine does take out the Ursaluna. This might be as good a chance as any to bring in Terapagos and start getting it set up. Because I don't really think... His counterplay to it is Calm Mind on Florges. Let's say he's Superpower. Onto our Terapagos, missing 1 health. It does hurt. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. It does like 70%. But I do want to go ahead and get a spin up. I could not find Terapagos for a second. I'm not used to it being so tiny. So we'll bring that in. It should shift right away. Yep, I've never used Terapagos. So the first time I'm seeing it on my side, I battled against it once in Wi-Fi. We'll just go for a spin, get rid of all those hazards Gloomora worked so hard for. And we did get the poison, which was nice. We'll go ahead, get rid of Ursaluna. He does stay in. Could go for Icicle Spear, I guess, and it would do reasonable damage to me. Because only the first one is blocked. Does just go for Quake and pops my shell. So that'll do half as much as normal, so we can learn something from the calc. It does 61 damage. So, not adamant. More defensive, maybe. We are at +1. It did 61, so no attack Piloswine. It fits that range of no attack or minimal attack. Like, you know, just a little bit of investment. If he's max Spadef, we 2-shot with Starstorm, right? If only barely. Wow, okay. So we will go for the Starstorm. Very cool move. We don't 2-shot. Okay. That has to be max with... yeah, that has to be max with the nature. Because on my screen, I'm seeing it as 50% min. So I will go for a Calm Mind here. That Earthquake did 120. Next Earthquake also does 120. And then Ice Shard does up to 50, so Calm Mind is risky. But I do want to be set up so that I can do more damage to the next Pokemon if I live. So I will go for 1 Calm Mind. He does switch. Okay, so not a bad play on our part, I suppose, unless he goes into a Scarfer. Shinobu comes in, which is the Florges. So we do get a Calm Mind up. And we can kind of see what this 1v1 is going to look like. So a physically defensive Florges, if we're at +1, we are 2-shotting. So we can determine if this is also Super Spadef. If it is, that's kind of crazy that most of his prep was around special attackers, because I feel like our team is pretty lacking. I guess we have a couple of mixed Pokemon that kind of prefer special attacking, like Cyclozar and Zoroark. But still, not something I would fully expect. We'll go for the Starstorm. He is at least somewhat Spadef. He goes for a Moonblast. Does this 2-shot us? Easily. Does not get the drop. I will just go for another Starstorm. It'll at least get him low. If he goes for Wish, then it's a mind game of Calm Mind versus attacking again. Does just Moonblast. Okay, so we got a Florges low. I could have calced that damage. I think it did like 130 or something. Or, sorry, not 130, 120 maybe? So maybe it's an offensive Florges. We're down to 3 Pokemon already, and they're all our choice lock Pokemon. We don't want to be locked into... Okay, he doesn't have any normal resist left. So we only have 1 special attacker and 2 physical attackers. So I think we go into Cyclizar here. Double Edge is completely free into his entire team. Yeah, Double Edge is so free. Does Piloswine with Ice Shard scare us at all? We know he's not banded. Cyclizar does up to 204, so we're okay even after eating a Double Edge. So how do we win? Cyclizar does a ton of damage to things, and then Zoroark comes in, does a ton of damage to things, and then Staraptor comes in and does a ton of damage to things. And hopefully he runs out of things. That is the game plan. It's not very methodical, I will say. One thing I kind of prioritize with this team, I definitely could have thought a little bit more about what I was bringing, or what I was drafting, but I wanted to draft things that were easy to use, and I wanted to kind of have like really good hazard control and Pokemon that could attack from either side, so I wasn't just completely walled out by like 1 Spadef Golden Go. So probably not my best team of all time, and probably not my best planning to only have our 3 choice lock Pokemon left, but at least he's not Terra Ghost on Ogerpon. Our other 2 opponents are likely to bring interesting Terra types, but this opponent at least is locked into Terra Water. We know Piloswine is chilling at like something like 60%, so Double Edge probably doesn't KO, but he is max Spadef at least. This is something we haven't seen. It is the Urshifu, so we will learn immediately if he is Scarfed or not. He could Sucker Punch. I guess I could Calc. Banded Sucker Punch will KO us, so we can find out right now. If he's not banded, does Sucker Punch KO us? No, actually, and Adamant Sucker Punch never KOs us, so he has to be either Black Glasses, Life Orb, or Choice Band to knock us out with Sucker Punch. The problem with him being choice locked into Sucker Punch, though, is we don't really have counterplay to it because we're just locked in. Obviously, I could trick it with Zoroark, but then we're just we're trading choice items, and I think that allows him to use whatever he wants. So it's a little bit awkward. Yeah, not feeling too great. He is Sucker Punch. Does it KO? Does KO, so he's banded, or Life Orb, or Black Glasses. Now, does banded Sucker Punch KO Staraptor? It does not. The problem is, after a single Brave Bird recoil from anything he has in the back, it does. And obviously KO's Zoroark. So, that's not great. But the question is, does he know that Sucker Punch does not knock out Staraptor? He has to, right? Adamant Choice Band does 79 to 94. So, I go Zoroark. I go Staraptor. I go Zoroark, disguises Staraptor. He switches, so I get Brave Bird Chip. Switches into either of the other Pokemon, comes back in. Oh man, it's like a 50-50. I think he's gonna switch here. I'm gonna bank on him switching. If he Sucker Punches, he wins. You know, GG. But I have to bank on him choking. Okay, he does switch. Okay, perfect. So now he brings Urshifu back in, Sucker Punches again. So Piloswine is the switch in. He can go for Ice Shard here. Hyper Voice will not quite KO. He probably Ice Shards for chip damage. Brings Urshifu back in, and then it's a 50-50. Does he Sucker Punch or does he Wicked Blow? The problem being, if he Sucker Punches, I have to switch around a lot. So I know that Urshifu is likely to be Choice Band / Black Glasses. There has to be one of those 2 items. And it's Sucker 1. And then he's got the Ogre that he's yet to reveal. If it's Trailblaze Ogre, it also just beats me. There is the Zoroark, and the camera change was very abrupt. Hyper Voice will knock it out. If he goes Ogre here, we have to stay in, and I think we're guaranteed a loss because our Brave Bird recoil will KO us, which is unfortunate. What were the odds of Black Glasses KOing Cyclozar there? We can check that quickly. Guaranteed, actually. His min roll, if he's adamant, is guaranteed to KO Cyclozar. So if he is Jolly, it is 50-50, more in his favor than not, I think. Or actually it might be an actual 50-50. It does go into the Ogre Pawn. So unfortunately, I do think this is GG for us. Ogre Pawn, Wellspring, Swords Dance, Terra. Hyper Voice is doing about half, so Brave Bird will get us very low. It will Terra, of course. I think when you Terra on here, okay, it does adjust the damage. So hoping he's not Trailblaze. If he's Trailblaze, he insta wins. Or if he's Spiky Shield, he insta wins actually. So a lot of ways we can lose this right now. Does get this Fidef boost. Oh, this is cool. I've not really seen Ogre Pawn in this game either. He's not super defensive. Cudgel will knock us out. And then Staraptor will knock him out, but then we will take about 15% recoil, which actually means this is going to come down to a roll, which is really, really intense. It makes me wish I would have run a little more health on Staraptor, but I couldn't, honestly. I don't think Ogre Pawn gets priority. Obviously, my only play is Brave Bird. Okay, he's Spiky Shield, so he wins. Very, very well played. Well played, holding that in the back. So, Spiky Shield Chip will knock us very low. The only way he throws this is by switching in the bear right now. So, yeah, Urshifu, Choice Band, Sucker Punch is doing, at minimum, 253, and we will definitely be below that after this Brave Bird. So we have to hope he has Black Glasses, or he misclicks. Black Glasses, Sucker Punch is doing 238 at max, which, so there's a chance. There's a non-zero chance. He goes for the double Spiky Shield, which honestly is the best play he could have made. We go for the Brave Bird. What will that knock us down to? The crazy thing here is if I wasn't Choice Scarf, which he hasn't confirmed because he only went for Spiky Shield twice. Okay, we don't have much of a chance. If he's Black Glasses, we live a little over half of the time. If he's Choice Bands, Alexa, stop. Sorry, had a timer go off. If he's Black Glass, or sorry, if he's Jolly Choice Bands, then we never live. Okay, GG's to my opponent. Super good prep. Spiky Shield was very cool. Yeah, knocks us out. We lose 1-0, but hey, we lost 1-0 with mono normal. We put up a hell of a fight for having only one type. So we either have to win out our other two games, or our opponent here goes undefeated and everybody else loses all the other games somehow, or, you know, somehow the math works out. This was maybe our worst matchup. We have one with an Iron Valiant, which I'm not excited for, and some different Terra Pokemon on it. It is Terra Landorus Incarnate, and then Samurott Hisui, you know, it's that one's not going to be fun. And then we have our last opponent doesn't have a fighting type, and it's Terra Tornadus, so I'm feeling okay about it, but we could just get completely swept. I imagine I'm going to upload these regardless, but maybe if I get completely swept, it's not worth uploading, but we'll see. But anyway, GG's to our opponent. I think we gave him a fight, which is all we could really ask for with a meme team, and we're having a great time. And we will see you again on the next battle.